First here tonight at 5, round one of the U.S. Senate race between the Democrat Jack Conway and Republican Rand Paul. Their first one-on-one face-off in Louisville. It happened here today.
And it was interesting. The candidates appeared before a meeting of county judge executives and magistrates from all across Kentucky. And WHAS 11's political editor Joe Arnold, of course, was there. And how significant is this early on?
Very significant, because it really kind of sets the course, the roadmap, if you will, for the rest of the campaign. We're hearing these campaigns have been polling and vetting out what's working and what's not working. Well, this is about to be the next 4 months of what you're about to be subjected to here down the road. Here, okay? The rest of the campaign is all out there. Each candidate talking about how wonderful his own ideas are versus how terrible the other guys are. And right out of the gate, both Paul and Conway taking dead aim at each other. Before the gloves came off, a handshake between Republican Rand Paul and Democrat Jack Conway, and one area of agreement.
There is a problem, a serious problem, and I agree with Rand Paul on this. There is a lack of fiscal responsibility in Washington right now. We spend too much.
Both say America's best days are ahead of us, with Paul adding one condition.
I think we are in perilous times. I think there's a day of reckoning coming, and I fear a second dip into a recession. And if Jack and President Obama get their way on raising taxes, it could be a depression.
This is about efficient government, effective government, prudent regulation, and regulators who do their jobs.
The task before each candidate, with less than 4 months until the election, is to stand firm on his own message while defining his opponent as out of the mainstream. Conway saying Paul is appealing to people's fears. Paul saying Conway is simply too liberal for Kentucky.
He supports his president on cap and trade. He supports his president on Obamacare. These are things that are not popular in Kentucky, and he will spend the next 6 months, I believe, trying to run away from President Obama's positions.
And let me be clear on this point, because my opponent has mischaracterized my position. I oppose cap and trade. I will oppose cap and trade as Kentucky's next United States Senator. Accountability is not going on national TV and saying that it's un-American to go after British petroleum. Accountability is not having a worldview where you think that government basically should never touch business whatsoever.
I don't want them to go out of business where they can't pay for the mess, and that's what that kind of rhetoric could do.
Both call for changes, but while Paul is calling for a revolution, Conway says he is a moderate Democrat.
We need earmark reform, but I'm not going to call for an end to all earmarks.
Government is raging out of control, and we have to rein it back in.
Now, the bruises from each candidate's primary fight are still showing. Rand Paul echoed the attack of Democrat Daniel Monjardo on Conway, taking contributions from utility interests while having a role in regulating utility rates. Jack Conway echoed Trey Grayson's criticism of Paul's role as a leader of the Tea Party movement rather than focusing on Kentucky interests.
Well, we hadn't seen Jack Conway in a while. The crowd, were they surprised to see him walk into the room?
You know, I don't know if people are paying as much attention out there in all 120 Kentucky counties as perhaps we are as political reporters and things like that. I think they expected him to see there. He's been on the schedule for quite a while to appear before the county judge executives meeting.
And of course, Fancy Farm coming up. That's always a
August
thing to do.
7th, but they also will be meeting, the Farm Bureau has their own forum coming up as well. So this is not the last time, another first time.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.